All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. Oh, hold on, Richie. We're now officially live on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio for the first time in show history, Richie.
That's what I like to hear. Live is the way.
We are live and in living color for all of you old school fans there. And so myself, Gabriel Anders, let me introduce ourselves here, Richie, if I will. Myself, Gabriel Anders here, one of your hosts, partnered by my co-host, Richie Vegas. Tell the people hey and how you're doing here today, Richie.
Hey people, I'm doing good, riding on that Golden Knights victory tonight. Let's keep this momentum going, folks.
See, that Richie Vegas name is not just a gimmick, brother. That is, he lives Las Vegas through and through. So, also jumping on at some point here tonight, we will have expert AWF analyst JP Yaegar. I think he might be searching for his bottle to either that or I don't know if Donnie Palmer had him holding some lug nuts while he switched a tire. But JP Yaegar will be joining us, should be joining us at some point here tonight, as long as he doesn't get lost in the mean streets of Tempe's Mill Avenue. But nonetheless, Richie, let's go ahead and get started while we wait for him here. We have a lot going on in the Arizona Wrestling Federation this week. We are less than 1 week away from the All-American Grand Slam. We are a little further off the heels of the Wild Card Rumble, but wow, Richie, have you been taking a look at everything on what's been going up on ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com and through the social medias and all the news buzz that's been coming out for this hashtag AWF summer, as the kids are referring to it as?
Absolutely. This is going to be one hot summer for the AWF, not just in temperature, but in action too, with all of the shows that have been announced. And I'm sure you saw the Power Rankings coming out too, which I'm sure we'll get into later in the show. The competition is getting hot, the shows are getting hotter, and the temperature is getting the hottest.
Most definitely. Richie, speaking of temperature, were you outside at all today or this week? Today was a mild day.
I was outside today. Today was a little more mild than the rest of the week, but it was still a hot one. Spent the entire day poolside myself.
Oh man, that is the life of luxury. That's what you live, Richie. That's what you live.
Always.
That also is not a
Absolutely.
gimmick. That is your life now that you've relocated down here to Arizona, and we're glad you did. We're glad you did because you're here on at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. We're on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio, so let's get started. So where do we want to start this week, Richie? What are we looking at?
Man, where to start? There's just so much action going on in the AWF. You know what? Maybe we should start with All-American Grand Slam, since that's the next major show we have coming up.
Let's do it. Let's take a look. So let's start running down first. Let's sort of run down these matches. While we do here, get your tickets at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, tisk, they're almost gone. We only have 1 week left, so make sure you run on there right now and grab up your tickets. You can go. It should pop up right away, too, I think. The internet people have done a great job here at the Arizona Wrestling Federation and made your tickets easier and more accessible than ever by going to the Arizona Wrestling Federation.com website, and there's even a ticket link. So let's go ahead and actually, before we get into Grand Slam, let's just run down the hashtag AWF summer dates that have been announced. Because did you get a load of this? This whole summer is just stacking.
It's stacked. It is so stacked.
This is insanity. So let me go ahead and pull them up here. The events that have been announced as of late. So, of course, we know June the 26th, we are going to have the All-American Grand Slam. And that one's going to be at the new AWF Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. And then July, the other July month is going to be the 24th of the month. Saturday, July 24th is going to be Summer Explosion, another big staple of every AWF summer. also at the new AWF Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, and that one, the tickets are on sale already. So Richie, log on too. We'll get those while you're shopping around here. And then one of the biggest announcements that were made in the last week. Did you see this one? In August?
Oh, yes, sir.
So in August, we are looking at. Can I get a drum roll, please, from anybody listening to us here on RGTR? Overdrive 8 is coming to the new AWF Arena on August the 14th. Overdrive 8, August the 14th. Tickets are on sale on the website, so if you go to the ticket section, you can get those or the news articles that have been written about it. Also, I believe have the links on there, and that one's going to be major. I'm going to spill just a couple of beans here real quick, Richie. We're going to have a Gold Rush tournament. If you haven't heard, the Unleashed Championship is back. There's a Gold Rush tournament for it. It's an Overdrive anniversary show. There's going to be an anniversary invitational match. This will be the biggest Overdrive that the AWF has ever seen, ever. I need to sit down for a second, Richie.
Yes, take a seat, because that is, you got to catch your breath there after all of those long-winded announcements.
Yeah, definitely, and that's not even all of them. So, just to and then after Overdrive, once we've all recovered from the party that is AWF Overdrive, the 8th ever Overdrive anniversary show, AWF Retribution will be Saturday, September the 18th in Phoenix. And then there isn't a date attached to it yet, but the AWF Academy is presenting AWF Nova also in September. That, of course, time to be determined, date to be announced, and tickets will be on sale soon for those last two. But wow, there is a whole bunch of AWF going on this summer.
One stacked summer, that's for sure. That's what it should be called, AWF One Stacked Summer, because that lives up to the name.
That you are not exaggerating there. I think I said it on air on one of the other shows. You are not playing the exaggeration game. As no. I don't know who's ever referred to it as the exaggeration game prior to me, but there's probably a reason for that, ain't there? Probably a reason.
I would say so.
Yeah. And nonetheless, some awesome matches are coming to you for the All-American Grand Slam. So we're gonna pick winners here tonight because we are 6 days away from the All-American Grand Slam in Phoenix, Arizona. Again, June the 26th, this upcoming Saturday. The match that everybody's been abuzz for, returning for one night only. The team of Adrian Hawkins, Aiden Colts, with Sprayboy Roy in their corner, or SBR if you know him as that, against the Southwest Dream Team, current champion AWF champion Andy Palafox, and Danny G, bringing back and reuniting both sides, reuniting the bands, and going at it for one night only. That's gonna be an excellent match. We'll go a little further into it and give you some reasons why. Lawrence Tyler, the 2021 Wildcard Rumble winner, will be taking on Watson. The Women's Championship is on the line in a fatal four-way. Brittany Brooks defends against Volcana, Viva Van, and Freya the Slayer. And that will be a one-fall fatal four-way match, so therefore, Brittany Brooks does not have to be pinned. The Tag Team Championships are on the line. Brothers Wrestling are challenging the Real Money Brothers. The Jordan Cruz is going to take on the defending Ricky Mandel. See, check the door. I would have thought for sure that would have brought JP Yaegar on the line, saying Jordan Cruz's name. Yeah,
no, it's like Beetlejuice, right? You say Jordan Cruz's name 3 times, and JP will pop up. So we only got to mention it one more time, because I said it once, you said it once.
Oh, that's true. Well, Jordan Cruz will be in action against Ricky Mandel, so it'll be great to see those two go at it. And then Joey Hendricks will take on the man that brings a party in every time you say his name 3 times straight. Chubby Depp. Time to party.
Yes, sir.
And Austin Cole will be taking on Chris Evans, and Ricky Reyes will be challenging Paradox. What a card. What a card.
One stacked card to kick off one stacked summer, that's for sure.
That is absolutely for true. So we're going to go through. We're going to pick some of our winners here. And then feel free to tweet us at Pro Wrestling AZ on Twitter. Or on Facebook. Go ahead and let us know who you think, as we're going along, who you think the winners will be. And just let us know who your picks are as Richie and I are making our picks here. So let's get this all set. So we'll go into those matches in a little bit here. Now we're going to run through some other things. If you haven't heard, we're going to fill you in here. So again, as we heard, all the dates that have been announced, insanity. Insanity. That is... Richie, you know what's even more insane? Trying to find my format of what we're going to talk about next. I am struggling right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, that is okay. You know, this is live radio, man. When you go live, there's gonna be times where you have to figure out a way to make things chug along, even when you're missing something.
This is for true. I think I just got it pulled up right now. So
good. Yeah, I also have the match card in front of me. So let's roll on with these announcements.
Okay.
With these predictions.
Yep. So before we get into the predictions, actually, we are going to cover the current AWF champions. We're going to recap that real quick. So the AWF heavyweight champion, as we had just mentioned, is currently Andy Palafox. The AWF state champion is Ray Black. The AWF Tag Team Champions are the Real Money Brothers. The AWF Women's Champion is Brittany Brooks. And now we can officially say, since it is coming back at Overdrive, the AWF Unleashed Championship is currently and officially, as of, what was that, Wednesday, I think the announcement came out?
Active and vacant.
Active and vacant. The AWF Championship is back. So that
beautiful blue belt.
It is. That is a pretty one too, and that has been held by the likes of Parada, Lawrence Tyler, Watson, Mike Camden, Chris Evans, some major Evan Daniels. There have been major names, and if anyone remembers the franchise or Daniel Sanchez, there have been some, and it's a belt. So to give you a little bit of history, the Unleashed Championship was formed with the company that was originally Lucha Wrestling Unleashed, which therefore turned into Unleashed Wrestling, which was acquired by the Arizona Wrestling Federation. So the company debuted circa 2015, was acquired by the AWF. I want to say, my belief is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 2017-2018 timeframe, and then became AWF Unleashed. And that was really one of your grittier, more harder hidden shows. I want to say that was one of the. It was a tough man sport for a little bit, as you can probably tell with some of the names that we mentioned with being the Unleashed champion. But Richie, you're a little newer. You might not have overlapped, or you may have overlapped with some of and caught some Unleashed championship matches. But what are your takes? Unleashed championship, it's back.
I've been very vocal about wanting to see this title. I never got to see any of the matches, but I heard the folklore and the legend behind this title. And I think with a lot of the talent the AWF has acquired now, and a lot of the up and coming performers and wrestlers in the ranks, I think this Unleashed title will give them a chance to show their true stuff. It'll give way to more of the harder hitting stuff that we have seen recently. And I think that this is the perfect time for the Unleashed title to be unleashed. And I cannot wait to see it in action.
I have to say, I cannot agree. This is a championship that in the past has helped make and launch careers. Speaking of which, JP Yaegar, thank you, buddy, for hopping on. We are talking about the Unleashed Championship. What is your take? Unleashed Championship is back. We are excited for it. What are you feeling? What are you thinking here?
Well, we've seen a lot of great Unleashed champions over the years, so it's certainly nice to see the belt back in action. I know, the previous one of our previous champions, Rocket Boy Wilson, absolutely went a long way in putting that belt on the map.
How could I forget? Rocket Boy Wilson was, a long-running AWF Unleashed champion. You're right.
So, I mean, it's whoever gets that belt, it's come to be known over the years that is the next step to look, if you can prove yourself as the, that champion, there's bigger things coming for you in the future, because every single person that's held that belt has gone on to, higher standing in the AWF.
That is, yeah. And again, just right before you walked in, JP, we were just talking about some of the names: Watson, Evan Daniels, Lawrence Tyler, Chris Evans, Mike Camden. As you brought up too, I don't know how that slipped my mind. One of the more recent ones, Rocket Boy Wilson, Parada. Like, there have been, it is a definite launching pad for some of these the careers of the wrestlers that are household namesakes now in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. So this is huge. Again, that Unleashed Championship is making its return, and that'll be August the 14th at Overdrive 8. JP, you're planning on attending Overdrive 8, right? You're going to be there.
Oh, 100%. Listen, now that I know that the Unleashed Championship is coming back, that was one of my favorite title matches to call, because everybody that was in there had something to prove. Now that that's coming back, I will be there with bells and whistles and a wild turkey shot in each hand, my friend.
Oh, I bet you. Hey, did you get your bottle by chance? Were you able to pick up your bottle on the way in? Me and Ricky figured that's where you were.
I was actually the nice sign-on bonus you guys gave me for being part of this program. You said it was coming, and it's just a nice big giant bottle of wild turkey, honey flavored. Which I decided to indulge in a couple of sips of it to test it out to see how good it was. So that's why I'm running a little bit behind. I don't just get wild turkey. It was a very, very generous offer that you and Mr. Vegas hooked me up with. I decided to test it out and test the merits of this wild turkey that you guys got me, because I know I've been gruff and unreasonable in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to make sure that it was all on the up and up, and you guys definitely obliged.
Only the best for you, JP. Only the best.
Yep, that's yeah. Sorry, JP.
Much love for you.
Happy Father's Day to you. I hope you enjoy your Father's Day gift. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out in the AWF Fan Nation and on the roster in the locker room. We're going to take a quick break here on Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the announcements that have been made for Overdrive. Look at coming up matches on Grand Slam. It's a nice debut that's coming up on Summer Explosion, and much, much more. And hey, Richie, we're going to take our picks. JP, you want to make some picks about winners and losers here at Grand Slam coming up this Saturday?
Does your boy JP like wild turkey?
I think that answers a yes. So we'll be right back on the break after this here on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio and at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. We'll be right back.
You're listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Gabriel Anders, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know that there is a quick and easy way that you can help support this station and all the DJs on the RGTR shows that you know and love. Whenever you're looking at doing some Amazon shopping for your pets or your kids or yourself, everything that you could have delivered directly to your door, if you just head to redgold.net first and go to Amazon by clicking our Amazon banner at the top of the page, that would really help us out a bunch. And while you're at it, if you could follow us on Twitter at Red Gold Media and on Facebook, Red Gold Talk Radio, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Red Gold Network, you'll get notifications of every time that we go live each and every week for all your favorite RGTR shows. So again, if you click on that Amazon banner right at the top of the page on redgold.net, we'd really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you so much for listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. Hey guys, Gabriel Anders here, letting you know that the Arizona Wrestling Federation is back in Phoenix at the new AWF Arena, June the 26th for the All-American Grand Slam. See the returning team of Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Colt, accompanied by Sprayboy Roy, together again for one night only, as they take on the Southwest Dream Team of AWF champion Andy Palafox and the returning Danny G. Also competing, Ricky Mandel, Paradox, Watson, Freya the Slayer, AWF Women's Champion Brittany Brooks, Chubby Depp, RGTR's own Jordan Cruz, and the Brothers of Wrestling. And the 2021 AWF Wildcard Rumble winner Lawrence Tyler will be in attendance. For more information, listen to Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly and get your tickets now at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Round Table every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy R-Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m., where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey folks, I'm Bradley C. Baker.
And I'm Jim Caterly.
And we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit
and Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books,
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
It's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
Why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com, patreon.com/brokenlinkradio.
Do it! I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio.
Do you love Kings of the Round Table? We'll help support JPHG and Jordan Cruz by picking up your copy of 11 and 11, a hometown hero, LaRussa's last ride in red, and a Miracle World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals. Written by Benjamin Hockman with a foreword by Chris Carpenter and closing remarks by Jason Mott. 11 and 11 is a thoroughly reported chronicle of an unparalleled season packed with interviews with key players, team executive broadcasters, and more. This is the definitive account of a championship run no Cardinals fan will ever forget. To pick up your copy of 11 and 11, visit redgold.net and purchase through our Amazon link to support this show and this station.
The hottest new talents in pro wrestling today are in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Subscribe today for all the action. YouTube.com/ProWrestlingAZ. Catch the excitement.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on At Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly with myself. Who am I? Gabriel Anders. Myself, Gabriel Anders, Richie Vegas, and joining us in the studio now, expert AWF analyst JP Yaegar. JP, now officially, formally say hi to the people now that you're all here and situated. You got your Dolphins hat on and looking sort of snazzy with your new bottle. Got some dapper clothes there with your bonus too, I see.
Yeah, this nice looking sleek suit that you guys got me, and it's nice, nice brand new Dolphins hat that my lovely wife got for me. And I see that Joey Hendricks' words have paid off. I know Joey gave me a nice phone call this week and said, Mr. Yaegar, how are the PWF, or how are the AWF brass treating you? And I said, well, Mr. Vegas is treating me like $1 million, but Mr. Anders, you might need to have a little conversation with me. And apparently Mr. Hendricks, my good friend, the Dapper One himself, had a conversation with you as well, because I've been treated like a king today, my friend.
Yeah, that he did. I wouldn't say it's a 1-2 punch there, but he went on about Ron Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah, Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, he went on about 32 minutes. I clocked it. He didn't mention you at all, strangely enough. But you're the one I have to thank for that. Thank you for that. It was an hour and 47-minute call from Joey Hendricks, and I'm not quite sure what we discussed. But he did say that he was going to pulverize Chubby Depp at the Grand Slam this weekend. So I don't know if the fan nation...
Be careful about using Ron Jeremy and pulverize in the same breath.
Oh, is that a thing? Anyway, moving on. So we are...
Yeah, that one, Mr. Vegas. That was a great one.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but we went over the current AWF champions. So, like we had mentioned, the Unleashed Championship is back. That's coming back at Overdrive. Richie Vegas went on and jumped on about all his tickets. Good boy, Richie. I'm going to go ahead and I've done the same for all but Retribution's not out yet. So, did you guys hear who's coming to the AWF? And I think you did, because I think I heard you mention it on Kings. July the 24th. We're just gonna keep rolling with the announcements here at Summer Explosion. Richie, did you hear it too?
Oh, I heard.
July the 24th. Jimmy Jacobs making his AWF debut at Summer Explosion. What are you guys' takes? JP, what are you thinking? Jimmy Jacobs in the AWF. How big is this?
Well, he's certainly not Jordan Cruz. He's certainly not Richie Vegas. He's certainly not Joey Hendricks. And he's certainly not Donnie Palmer. But I must say, Mr. Jacobs has traveled around the world, faced the best of the best, beaten quite a few, had some significant runs at the top of the ladder. So, it's a nice little acquisition for you guys. Let me emphasize, he's not quite the triangle of terror that we have, but, it's a good get. Very good get. I'm very happy for you guys.
Absolutely, and Richie, what are your takes? What did were you sitting down when you heard the news? What's your thought? Jimmy Jacobs coming to the AWF.
As somebody who I got to watch when I was quite younger, and somebody who I've enjoyed seeing help define the style of modern wrestling, I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the table for the AWF. Yeah. I was glad I was sitting down when I read the announcement, because that would have floored me if I hadn't been.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge. It's interesting to see what sort of waves he makes when he gets here, and sort of what his intentions are. So signed on, he said. Now I did notice this. He did have a very interesting. You know what? He must have. I think he might have some sort of representation similar to some of the other shows on this. Because I know they tend to dabble with a lot of the AWF talent and RGTR shows. He did say that he wanted to make more than Jordan Cruz. So I can't say officially that he was intending to cause waves, but I believe he said he wanted $1 and 1 penny more than Jordan Cruz. So
no.
First off, go ahead, Richie. I'm sorry. Please.
I was about to say that's going to get JP riled up. Like, what do you have to say about that, JP?
Well, first off, the Meister of Mayhem would like to extend this invitation to Mr. Jacobs. Now, while you may not be part of the Triangle of Terror right now, you can certainly jump on board with us, because we are ascending faster than Led Zeppelin, faster than the Vegas Golden Knights Stanley Cup chances. We are ascending to the top. Now, I cannot promise you will make $1 or 1 cent more than any of this Triangle of Terror that we have, but I promise you will be in elite company and you will be paid accordingly. So,
JP,
have your agent contact the legal law firm of Ball, Saxon and Johnson, and we will make sure that you are properly taken care of, Mr. Jacobs.
Now, JP, what did we had a very clear production meeting yesterday with the AWF officials. Do you recall one thing that they mentioned to you?
See,
do you recall the no recruiting on air?
Well,
they said they would give you the paycheck for the nice new clothes. I love the suit. It's a fantastic shade of green. It fits your eyes very well. Very festive. It matches the Dolphins hat. You have the nice model, but they said, what did they tell you very specifically? No recruiting on air.
See, that wasn't a direct recruiting tactic, though. See, that what makes great recruiters and what makes the great coaches great coaches. What makes Nick Saban a great coach, and what makes JP Yaegar a great coach is we don't even have to recruit. Our names speak for ourselves. That's how people look. I mean, Richie and I have become very, very close, and he's become an associate of ours. So, did I recruit you, sir? Did I recruit you to be part of my little circle?
All I'll say is greatness just finds greatness. That's all that happens.
That's exactly right. See, that's why I don't need to recruit. Greatness knows greatness, like Richie very adequately put. So I'm not recruiting. I'm just mentioning to Mr. Jacobs that, he's a great one. He's a great at this sport. Like Mr. Vegas said, he is, the patriarch of modern wrestling. So of course he's going to matriculate to the greatest coach in the wrestling industry today, yours truly. So it's not a recruiting tactic, young man. I promise you. It's just me offering an extended invitation because greatness knows greatness.
All right. Well, I'm just saying be careful. I like having you on the show, JP. And, the officials, I know you might have thought that the one that specifically gave us the directive might have been looking at me, but that's more of a, and you can't help which direction his eye looks sometimes. It's a glass eye. So now on to others that I'm sure that, I know you said it's a triangle of terror, but, I'm sure that you might be one to add on to. Bryn Thorne is the first announced competitor in the Gold Rush tournament at Overdrive 8 for that Unleashed Championship that we've been mentioning. What do you guys think about that? How huge is that Bryn Thorne will be the first competitor entering into this Gold Rush tournament for the Unleashed Championship at Overdrive?
I mean, Bryn Thorne is one of the toughest competitors that we have. Regardless of gender, regardless of positioning, she is someone to watch out for in this tournament. And I think this is going to be, anybody who has to go against her is going to have their hands very full because she is hungry and she wants that title. With her being the first to announce that she was in the tournament, that just shows how hard she's gunning for this.
Definitely chomping at the bit. She was just in the Wild Card Rumble. Her and Brittany Brooks were just in the Wild Card Rumble. Of course, she's been contending and competing for that AWF Women's Championship. No stranger to intergender wrestling. Bryn Thorne, of course, has fought a number of intergender matches here in the AWF. JP, what's your take? Bryn Thorne being the first entrant into this Gold Rush tournament for that Unleashed Championship we were just talking about.
Well, Mr. Anders, I could just say this about Bryn. She is somebody that's going to get in there, male, female, no matter what your gender is, she is going to get in there and she's going to drag the fight out of you. I mean, my favorite memory of Miss Thorne was getting to witness her go up against a gentleman who is well-traveled, who has faced the best of the best and beat some of the best of the best. And that, of course, being my good friend, the Italian Flamingo. And she went out there in Peoria and absolutely, unfortunately, things didn't work out for her that night because of some chicanery, which, by the way, Miss Thorne, if I was in your corner, I promise you that nonsense would have never happened.
JP,
but I digress. She will get out there.
The recruiting, JP. I'm just saying be careful. I like you, buddy.
I understand, and I appreciate you looking out for me, but she get out there and she mixed it up with the best of the best. She is going to be, like Mr. Vegas said, an extraordinarily tough out. If you beat Bryn, you're going to have to earn every second of it. And I don't know. I don't think there's too many people that are more driven that are going to enter this tournament than Bryn Thorne.
Yeah, it'll be excellent to see, and she's definitely a hungry competitor. So, you know what? Before we move on, do you guys want to bring her on? Not this week, but do you guys want to try to get her on, say for next week or the week after?
Yeah, definitely. I want to get her opinion and all of her feelings about being the first competitor announced for the tournament. And who knows if any of her competitors are going to be announced by then. I'd love to get her takes. So let's go for it. Let's get her on. Spare no expense.
Awesome. Let's do it. JP, you on board for that?
You never have to turn an opportunity. You'll never get me turning down opportunities to spread the word of greatness. So by all means, I would love to have Miss Thorne on this program and partake in a extracurricular conversation with her on here.
Absolutely. JP, now the officials are probably going to talk to you. You know this, right? Prior to bringing her on.
That's not a recruiting. I'm
just saying.
You know me, Mr. Anders. I love to. One thing I like to do more than talk smack is to conduct interviews. And Miss Thorne is a big time staple of the AWF roster. I mean, look. Here's a little known fact. When your boy JP joined the AWF, you know who the very first person to introduce herself and welcome me to the company was?
Who was that?
And this isn't a recruiting. Bryn Thorne.
Oh, very interesting. Well, there you go. It'll all come back full circle. So, Bryn, if you're listening, we're going to try to get you on. So, we'll be reaching out to you. So, hopefully we can get her on in the next couple of weeks and sort of go over where her mind's at and why she entered and what she's hoping to accomplish. So, another awesome first for Overdrive 8. So, again, this is the biggest Overdrive that the AWF has seen to date. The first ever Anniversary Cup Invitational match will be taking place, and this is an open invitational match that is open to anybody on the AWF roster. It could be Jordan Cruz, JP. I'm sure you guys are lobbying in to get in because anything of importance, you guys are right on the doorstep, as you should be. We could see Paradox. Could see Lawrence Tyler, who's looking to, chomping at the bit. We could see, we could see Ricky Reyes in there, depending on, however his match with Paradox goes. Chubby Depp could enter in. Richie Vegas, you could enter in. Anybody, it is open to all of us here in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Huge match at Overdrive 8. Richie, what are your thoughts on this, man? Are you going to enter?
I will not confirm nor deny any information about my participation in any AWF in-ring events, but I will say anything is possible in the AWF.
JP, we all know that you're one to tussle in the mean streets of well, where haven't you fought? I guess that's an easier list, right? Everywhere from Portland, Maine to would be the
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, Florida to California. So, JP, what are you there? We know you're going to enter in probably Donnie Palmer and Jordan Cruz. We'll have to wait and see on that. But what about you? You going to get in there? Open invitational, buddy.
As you said, my friend, I've scrapped in the streets of Maine, Spain, and Spokane, and I've kicked a lot of ass along the way. And you know what? Like Mr. Vegas said, I cannot confirm nor deny. But what the Triangle of Terror is going to do, the Brew Crew, which is, of course, myself, Mr. Vegas, and Mr. Cruz, see, we will have to confer with our legal firm of Ball, Saxon, and Johnson before we actually make our intentions official, because we don't want the other ham and eggers in the AWF roster to feel like they've got some kind of psychological advantage of knowing what our intentions are. So, Mr. Vegas, I believe me, you will be protected by yours truly and my legal firm, and the legal firm that one of the many perks of being, affiliated with myself. And, we will make sure that our official word will be made in due time, my friend.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know that nobody hits it harder than Ball, Saxon, and Johnson, so I know we'll be safely protected.
And fantastic. And you know what the rumors that I'm hearing, the rumblings, guys? I'm hearing the rumblings that not only is the winner of the Invitational going to get a sizable trophy presented at the time of the victory, but also a nice little, I'm hearing rumblings that there may be a ring introduced into it as well, almost a la a Super Bowl or World Series ring type setup for the winner. So big, huge deal.
Let me ask you this question then, Mr. Anders. How many individuals will be partaking in this extracurricular pugilistic venture?
So it's being talked about as sort of a battle royal style match. From what I've heard, again, it hasn't been announced just as of yet. However, there's no cap right now, so it could be a couple of people, depending on who. Obviously, with any invitational we ever have here in the AWF, it's we're probably gonna have to turn more people away. But as of right now, the officials have not announced what number that will be. So it could. Who knows? Who knows how many people will actually be in this match until it's announced. So we'll keep you posted. Yeah.
Let me this then. Let me put this in emphasis, and this will be conferred to you tomorrow, because like Mr. Vegas said, nobody hits harder in the hole than Ball, Saxon, and Johnson. It's going to be special. If I'm boarding my jet airliner, if I'm boarding my personalized airplane to come up from South Beach, Florida, Mr. Vegas is coming down from Las Vegas, or Mr. Cruz is coming in from San Diego, or Mr. Palmer's coming in from the deep woods of Northwest Pennsylvania. And I'll even throw Mr. Hendricks in that list, because although he's not an official member, he is an associate of us. If any of us are partaking in this pugilistic venture, we want certain numbers. We want certain provisions to be protected, because we don't want to be short shafted by the AWF management who's trying to hold us down. So we're going to need these specific details before we confirm or deny our participation in this.
Well, that definitely makes a lot of sense. You and Hendricks growing quite the friendship, it seems like, are you?
Well, Mr. Hendricks and I, like-minded individuals, think alike, and him and I have been quite good friends for I mean, that, Mr. Anders. I've been around the AWF locker room a little while now, and him and I have always seemed to hit it off quite well,
Well, that makes somebody. Oh, Joey Hendricks, good guy.
Mr. Hendricks and what he's about. He doesn't have time for nonsense and silliness, and he's not there to rub elbows and kiss behind and say hello. He's there to do the darn thing, and just like Mr. Vegas is, and just like Mr. Cruz and Mr. Palmer are, and just like I am. We're not there to play Ring Around the Rosie and let's sing Kumbaya and roast chestnuts in the backwoods of Arizona. No, we're there to do the thing. So we're all like-minded individuals. You may not understand it, but trust me, eventually you will.
Yeah, and, well, Joey Hendrick's not there to make friends, but, he's a competitor. He's a fighter, so that shouldn't be the first thing on his mind anyway, I suppose. So it's definitely a great competitive advantage. Well, we're going to talk on the other side of the break. We're going to go ahead and get into some other things. We're going to let you know where you can hear Kings of the Roundtable and JP on Thursdays. You can take a listen to him and Jordan. Also, I just wanted to mention to you, I got a text message just as we're up on a break. Chubby Deb just wanted to let you know, JP, he is not a skunk beer drinker. So I'm not quite sure where you got the skunk beer from him, or if he was playing a little razzmatazz on you. But he is a very very high end beer drinker. He let me know, JP.
No, I'm sure he is, but he doesn't drink the alcohol that the brew crew does. So to me, anything that's beneath what we drink is skunk brew.
Oh, well, understandably so. I did let him know that I did thank him for the Keystone, because I don't know how he caught wind, but he did know that I enjoyed my stones. So we'll be right back here on At Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. Myself, Richie Vegas, and the expert analyst, AWF analyst JP Yaegar. Right back after this break on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
You're listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Gabriel Anders, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know that there is a quick and easy way that you can help support this station and all the DJs on the RGTR shows that you know and love. Whenever you're looking at doing some Amazon shopping for your pets or your kids or yourself, everything that you could have delivered directly to your door, if you just head to redgold.net first and go to Amazon by clicking our Amazon banner at the top of the page, that would really help us out a bunch. And while you're at it, if you could follow us on Twitter at Red Gold Media and on Facebook, Red Gold Talk Radio, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Red Gold Network, you'll get notifications of every time that we go live each and every week for all your favorite RGTR shows. So again, if you click on that Amazon banner right at the top of the page on redgold.net, we'd really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you so much for listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. Hey guys, Gabriel Anders here, letting you know that the Arizona Wrestling Federation is back in Phoenix at the new AWF Arena, June the 26th for the All-American Grand Slam. See the returning team of Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Colt, accompanied by Sprayboy Roy, together again for one night only, as they take on the Southwest Dream Team of AWF champion Andy Palafox and the returning Danny G. Also competing, Ricky Mandel, Paradox, Watson, Freya the Slayer, AWF Women's Champion Brittany Brooks, Chubby Depp, RGTR's own Jordan Cruz, and the Brothers of Wrestling. And the 2021 AWF Wildcard Rumble winner Lawrence Tyler will be in attendance. For more information, listen to At Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly and get your tickets now at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Roundtable every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Art Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m. where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey folks, I'm Bradley C. Baker.
And I'm Jim Caterly.
And we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit
and Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books,
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
It's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at brokenlinkradio.com, patreon.com/brokenlinkradio.
Do it. I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio.
Do you love Kings of the Round Table? We'll help support JP, HG, and Jordan Cruz by picking up your copy of 11 and 11, a hometown hero, LaRussa's last ride in red, and a Miracle World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals. Written by Benjamin Hoffman with a foreword by Chris Carpenter and closing remarks by Jason Mott, 11 and 11 is a thoroughly reported chronicle of an unparalleled season packed with interviews with key players, team executive broadcasters, and more. This is the definitive account of a championship run no Cardinals fan will ever forget. To pick up your copy of 11 and 11, visit redgold.net and purchase through our Amazon link to support this show and this station.
The hottest new talents in pro wrestling today are in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Subscribe today for all the action. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling AZ. Catch the excitement.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are live here on RGTR Red Goal Talk Radio. You can listen to us on redgold.net, and also if you follow us on ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com, on Twitter, name of the show, @ProWrestlingAZ, and on Arizona Wrestling Federation on Facebook. You can get the link to listen to us each and every week here at 9 p.m. Arizona time, 9 p.m., which also happens to be Pacific, and midnight Eastern. And, well, for myself, I'm Gabriel Anders. I was trying to recall what time zone you were in, JP, but me and Richie Vegas are here. JP, what time zone do you happen to be in? Are you above the ground right now, or whatnot, or are you still stewing on the Skunk Brew comment from Chubby Depp?
Oh, first off, I'm in Miami. I'm in the Eastern time zone. I'm in God's country. All right. Secondly, you're talking about Keystone beer as not being. That's crap that I drank when I was in college and broke at the University of Miami. All right. That's like, you know. And then again, it's clear that Chubby drinks skunk beer and that lousy Keystone beer and eats his dollar store chips, you know, the generic kind. It clearly showed in the dance-off he had with Joey Hendricks. I mean, I haven't seen moves like that since I was at a Miami football game against Florida State, and the Florida State fans were leaving, and people were having epileptic seizures because they got their ass kicked. I mean, what was that? You drink Keystone Light, you eat generic chips, and you dance like like somebody stuck a fork up your back.
Be nice,
I mean,
be nice, JP.
Bro.
Be nice. See, Chubby Depp, very very avid listener of the show. Just wanted to give you a shout out, say hey there. Some people did root for Hendricks in the dance-off, but I think Chubby took the unanimous decision when they had their dance-off in the Wild Card Rumble.
Well, of course they did, because those people are used to looking dancing like epileptic seizures. They don't understand the moves that Mr. Hendricks has. You're comparing Fred Astaire dancing to some jabroni in Mill Avenue in Tempe that's like had a few too many drinks of skunk beer. I mean, come on. Come on,
baby. Come on. It's Fat Guy Summer, man. It's Fat Boy Summer, and with it being Fat Boy Summer, nobody knows it better than Chubby Depp, all right? I know normally you and I agree on everything, but Chubby Depp does have some taste. I mean, guys don't end up in his position without that.
Yeah, and he's not a Tempe boy, JP. He's from Tucson, and the Keystone was mine.
I can't defend the Tucson part, but you know.
The Keystone, I think he's from Marana. I don't know, but the Keystone was mine, JP. That was a gift, and he has brand name chips. I got Dorito. He's Frito-Lay all the way.
Well, listen, Mr. JP does not dirty his mouth with that greasy, filthy crap, and he doesn't dirty his mouth and his taste buds with second-rate alcohol. Okay.
Yeah, I can't agree with the Keystone. I can't agree with that. Me being a broke college student, I wouldn't even touch Keystone.
Well, see, now that you're running with us and you've got Ball Saxon and Johnson on your side, I mean, I knew I knew the kind of drinking, extracurricular drinking you do, because we gave you the taste test, and you said Give me some of that wild turkey. Give me some of the Jaeger bombs. Give me some of the good stuff. You weren't drinking juvenile, what bums drink. You were drinking high class stuff. So that's how I knew you were a keeper.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with us being defended by the fastest growing firm, Ball Saxon & Johnson, we are 100% protected and safe. And I can drink whatever I want to drink without having to worry about any of it. But, maybe Chubby Depp should look into some legal representation from Ball Saxon & Johnson in case any slander comes about.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If he can beat Joey Hendricks 3 times, he can be part of the brew crew. He can drink with us, and he can get the legal representation from Ball Saxon and Johnson. But he has to beat Joey Hendricks 3 times, and that's not an easy task.
JP, you're getting combative. You need some. You know what? I'm gonna pour you a nice glass of Seagram's, and then you're gonna chase that with a nice glass of Canadian Mist, and then I'm gonna give you some of my Keystones here. But we'll do that a little bit later. For now, we're gonna get back into some AWF talk, which is why we're all here on Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. Before we pick our winners, let's take a look at just some different sort of aspects and things that we're looking at going into it. So, of course, we all know the big tag team match between Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Colt with Sprayboy right in the corner versus the Southwest Dream Team. I don't know if you guys were made aware of this. It was on a memo. I think I saw you guys on the list for it from the offices. Andy Palafox, who is in this his tag team match, the AWF champion currently, is currently scheduled to defend his AWF championship at Summer Explosion on July 24th. So a challenger has not been announced yet, but what do you guys make of that? Him entering into this tag team match that has so much emotion, so much history, as we went over last week, and there's so much going on in his head. JP, let me kick it to you. What do you think might be going on in his head right now? He's got all this to deal with, and knowing that right afterwards he's going to have to defend his AWF championship.
If I've learned nothing else about Mr. Palafox and my dealings with him and through the AWF, he's an individual that, and I know you get a lot of shenanigans out of me and you get a lot of bluster, but Andy Palafox is a fighting champion. Andy Palafox is anytime, anyone, any place.
He's the real deal.
So he's the real deal. And I know that this is, this match is going to have a lot of emotions with him, the reunion of the Southwest Dream Team. And I know it's going to mean as much to him as his last heavyweight title shot. Which, by the way, he won. I think this means everything to him, but I don't think he's, look, I think Andy is always looking one step ahead. I think Andy is always prepared for what happens to be thrown at him. So, I know this means everything to him, but I also know he's going to defend that championship against whoever you throw in front of him, and he's not going to be dwelled over it. I mean, he's not going to sweat it too much, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the thing. Like, let me run down, Richie. I want to get your take on it, but before I do, I just wanted to look at some of these facts that were posted on the website over at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com. You can take a look. So it's like a little preview that was posted up. Southwest Dream Team versus Hawkins, Colt, and SBR. Both teams, 2-time AWF Tag Team Champions. Andy Palafox, of course, a 2-time, with being the current AWF champion. Hawkins, a 1-time champion, AWF champion. Danny G, a 1-time AWF champion. Now, one of the biggest keys that really stood out to me in this piece and what we're talking about, the Southwest Dream Team defeated Hawkins and Colt, who were on their first tag team championship run after winning the Gold Rush tournament, the first Gold Rush tournament for the introduction of the tag team championships, on April 30th, 2016, at AWF Aftershock, to become AWF Tag Team Champions for their first time. So, with knowing that, this is a personal vendetta, because I'm sure Colt and Hawkins have been chomping at the bit. Yeah, you've fought a bit, ever after, but, it's being rumored that this is a reason that they're coming back in, and they wanted to take on the Southwest Dream Team. And, Danny and Andy, being the stand-up guys that they are, definitely not ones to shy away from the challenge. Knowing that you have that sort of on the other side, on the other side of the ring, such a personal sort of vendetta, alongside with all the other history we listed off. Andy absolutely is a fighting champion, but at the same token, like, Richie, do you think that has something to play into, having to go into this emotional situation and then knowing that he's got to snap out of it real quick? Like, how easily do you think he can accomplish that?
Look, emotions can do a lot of things to a man, right? And I think the more personal this match is, the more hard-hitting it's going to be. And this match is already extremely personal. Like you mentioned, all of the history and intention behind this match. Nothing is more dangerous than a man with intention and a man with an emotion. And I think all four men are going into this match with a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. So I know that anything we see in this match is going to be something to behold.
And it's definitely an interesting dynamic. And again, like GP said, I think that Andy is the real deal. This is, of course, his second championship reign. He's one of the most accomplished on the AWF roster. I mean, it's tough to say that in a match like this, right? Where all five men have held gold and all five men have, their own accolades within the Arizona Wrestling Federation. But again, Andy's the one who's been there from day one and beyond. And, he's almost the Cal Ripken of the AWF, it would seem.
And another thing I want to throw in here now, tapping along what Mr. Vegas said there, the history that he has with Hawkins and Colt. I mean, look, chances to get a hold of Hawkins are going to be few and far between. He's been chomping at a bit for a while now to get this opportunity. And, Hawkins is back, but, look, Adrian has his own life going on and he's got some, continuing successful wrestling career in other parts of the country. I mean, how many chances are you going to have to see him back in the AWF ring? I mean, you never know. This could be the one last chance for them to solve these issues once and for all.
Very true, because it's been over 5 years since they were even in the same building together, all together at once, let alone the, having a sanctioned match in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. So who knows when the next time, we're going to see them go all out, because this is a lot of long running, almost decade long personal vendettas. I mean, some people have rumored that the reason that Hawkins and Colt left were due to Palafox and G and just not being able to, to get one up on them or whatever the case may be. So, now the other thing I wanted to touch on, Richie, let me ask you this one. We're looking at sort of the psychological aspects of it and whether or not Andy can snap in and out of, needing be, just staying on that track. There are physical ramifications. So, I mean, with knowing that he has to defend his championship 1 month later, I mean, what are we looking at, with him possibly risking an injury in this match or, being so emotionally sort of caught up that he sort of, shows his hand, if you will. What are some of the physical ramifications you think we could see coming out of this one?
The fact that he even agreed to this match shows how much trust he has in his partner. And it shows that he has trust that his partner will have his back and have his best interest as they take this challenge and this grudge match on. I think that no matter what, we have to look at the fact that they have a brothership, they have a partnership, and they're not going to let anything happen to the other, or they're going to do everything they can to protect the other. And not only that, but successfully win.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting, and you definitely don't hope for injury or anything, in the name of good sportsmanship. JP, I see you shaking your head. We don't typically hope for injuries or in the name of good sportsmanship, but especially in this scenario, when knowing that he has such a meaningful match coming up, especially with Andy in this situation. But let's sort of stay on the topic just a little bit. So, we're looking at, regardless of what the outcome of this match is, at Summer Explosion, Andy is going to be defending the AWF Championship. So, if we're to take a look, so a competitor has not been announced and a challenger has not been announced. Let me ask you guys here, who do we, who are you guys sort of thinking, who is that next man up? Who is that, who deserves the next shot at that AWF Championship? So, JP, I'm going to start with you with the preface of, I know Jordan Cruz and Donnie Palmer probably rank very highly on your list. So knowing that we know what you are ready to bring to the table, with that being said, who do you think is, who would you say the top few guys are, or girls or women, in line for that AWF championship? Who comes to mind immediately for you?
Well, obviously there's Lawrence Tyler, which, even though we won't beat the dead horse there, I mean, obviously somebody like Lawrence Tyler is a name to pay close attention to because, look, my agreement with whether or not, certain things happen notwithstanding, you're talking, look, this is the Babe Ruth of AWF, bottom line. He's got to be high up that list. I'll throw another one out there, though. And this is your boy JP. Maybe I'm stirring the pot. Maybe I'm just, thinking personal interest here. But sleep with one eye open, Andy, because Danny G, I know your boys, but titles speak. That gold speaks loud.
Danny G. Wow. Okay. So the other half of the Southwest Dream Team, do you think that he might throw? They've fought for the championship before. So I guess that's not out of the realm of possibility. But what makes you think? What makes you think Danny G?
I've seen people do crazy things in the name of greed. And when a title as prestigious as the AWF Heavyweight Championship is on the line, Danny G's traveled all over the world. Danny G has done things that you don't see in this business. But Danny G, wonder in the back of his mind, look, I know him and Andy they're tight knit. But Andy's got something that Danny might want. And listen, it's one thing to be a great tag team. It's another thing to be the man.
Well, that's a very interesting one. Yeah, I didn't think I saw that one coming. Richie, who do you think? So some of the names that might gravitate out or come to your mind first, as far as who might be next in line for this AWF championship.
Looking at the power rankings, and I know we'll probably talk about that more later. You have to think of Lawrence Tyler. I mean, yes, he won the Rumble, and he's owed a title shot whenever he wants to play that card, but we do have to also take into consideration Lawrence Tyler's opponent at Grand Slam. If he wins that match, Watson could very well be the man to step up and take the challenge. Even if he doesn't win that match, Watson's a former champion in his own right, and Watson has a lot of momentum on his side right now, especially with his faction member Ice coming down. And it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be, or not Ice, sorry. Last at the Rumble, he had one of his faction mates with him. Was it Ice?
Michael Hopkins. Or no. I'm failing on the name right now, but no. Ice was supposed to come down.
Ice was supposed to come. That's
pre-pandemic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But the schedules haven't aligned since.
And it wasn't Ice I was thinking of. I don't believe he's faction.
Yeah, we'll pull up the tape of the Rumble. We'll get his name on the other side of the break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking power rankings. And we're going to start to give predictions on the AWF All-American Grand Slam coming up this Saturday, June the 26th. Tickets are still on sale at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com, but get them quickly because they're almost gone. So on the other side of the break, we'll be back here at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Gold Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Gabriel Anders, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know that there is a quick and easy way that you can help support this station and all the DJs on the RGTR shows that you know and love. Whenever you're looking at doing some Amazon shopping for your pets or your kids or yourself, everything that you could have delivered directly to your door, if you just head to redgold.net first and go to Amazon by clicking our Amazon banner at the top of the page, that would really help us out a bunch. And while you're at it, if you could follow us on Twitter at Red Gold Media and on Facebook, Red Gold Talk Radio, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Red Gold Network, you'll get notifications of every time that we go live each and every week for all your favorite RGTR shows. So again, if you click on that Amazon banner right at the top of the page on redgold.net, we'd really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you so much for listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. Hey guys, Gabriel Anders here, letting you know that the Arizona Wrestling Federation is back in Phoenix at the new AWF Arena, June the 26th for the All-American Grand Slam. See the returning team of Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Colt, accompanied by Sprayboy Roy, together again for one night only, as they take on the Southwest Dream Team of AWF champion Andy Palafox and the returning Danny G. Also competing, Ricky Mandel, Paradox, Watson, Freya the Slayer, AWF Women's Champion Brittany Brooks, Chubby Depp, RGTR's own Jordan Cruz, and the Brothers of Wrestling. And the 2021 AWF Wildcard Rumble winner Lawrence Tyler will be in attendance. For more information, listen to Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly and get your tickets now at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Round Table every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Art Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m., where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey folks, I'm Bradley C. Baker.
And I'm Jim Caterly.
And we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit
and Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books,
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
No, it's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
Why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com, patreon.com/brokenlinkradio.
Do it! I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio.
Do you love Kings of the Round Table? We'll help support JP, HG, and Jordan Cruz by picking up your copy of 11 and 11, a hometown hero, LaRussa's last ride in red, and a Miracle World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals. Written by Benjamin Hoffman with a foreword by Chris Carpenter and closing remarks by Jason Mott. 11 and 11 is a thoroughly reported chronicle of an unparalleled season packed with interviews with key players, team executive broadcasters, and more. This is the definitive account of a championship run no Cardinals fan will ever forget. To pick up your copy of 11 and 11, visit redgold.net and purchase through our Amazon link to support this show and this station.
The hottest new talents in pro wrestling today are in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Subscribe today for all the action. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling AZ. Catch the excitement.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. Myself, Gabriel Anders, Richie Vegas, and JP Yaegar. We're back here. JP, how's it?
We are here.
Indeed. How's that bottle treating you, JP?
Like $1 million, like I should be treated. Thank you very much for that. You know, once in a while, once upon a time, you do some good things, Mr. Anders. This is appreciated. It won't be forgotten.
Absolutely. We like to treat you well, JP. You've been good to us. We like to treat you well, especially Richie and I. We're very appreciative of you being here. I notice you have not touched the glass of Canadian Mist I poured for you. Why is that?
No comment.
Well, if I told you the answer to that, I'd get us in more trouble dropping those kind of Yaegar bombs on the air. So, I might get us in too much trouble if I say that. But I'll just say it's too misty for my liking. And I prefer my drinks with a little more texture to them. But I thank you for the offer. Very generous of you to pour that for me.
Absolutely. Anytime there, sir. So, yeah, well, we will go ahead. Rather than getting JP in trouble, let's go ahead and talk AWF Power Rankings. If you haven't seen them, we're going to run through them real quick here for you. And we are going to go ahead and take a look. Of course, you can follow along with us at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com. In the news section, you can see the Power Rankings. So the top 10 AWF stars going into All-American Grand Slam and where they rank. We'll go ahead and get started bottom to top. We're going to start off. You guys ready? Anything before we jump into it, you guys?
I'm not responsible for words that come out of my mouth this after these rankings are announced. I will just mention that now in advance. So anybody who I do offend by saying this, I apologize in advance. No, I don't.
That should be the general rule, shouldn't it, Richie?
That definitely should be.
Disclaimer for you, JP. So no worries. Don't get too offended by what JP has to say. It's more or less his, it's the terror talking. We'll just say that. So number 10 on the AWF Power Rankings. If you're following along, this is the list top to bottom, which is actually bottom to top. So number 10, Brittany Brooks, the AWF Women's Champion, is listed off. Number 9, Jordan Cruz, JP, one of the Towers of Terror.
Whoa. Keep going. This better be damn good.
Chris Evans is number 8. Number
Chris
7.
Evans before Jordan. Even I have to pipe up about that one.
Richie, stop antagonizing. It's number 7, Paradox. See, JP's sweating when you say stuff like that. He was already sweating. JP, why are you so sweaty today?
Because I'm trying to maintain my composure for public perception.
Is it humid even on the plane? Because I know you said you're in Miami, but I believe that you're on the plane at the moment. Is that right? You're sort of hovering over Miami. They're not. I heard a rumor that they're not letting you touch down. What's that about?
Well, because there's a celebration party of some of the finest women in South Beach waiting for me to get there, and they're just trying to line up they're trying to line up a couple of the Florida Gators cheerleading squad, a couple Miami Dolphin cheerleaders. They're trying to get it nice and ready for me when I land. So it's not as bad as you guys think.
There's activities on the plane, Richie, that are probably not legal in Florida, as well as probably about 47 other states.
Don't know if the actions are TSA certified, but
I believe so. I believe you're hovering over international waters right now, aren't you, JP? We won't scout your location.
Somewhere between the Bermuda Triangle and no, never mind. I can't say the rest. I can't.
Number 6, Evan Daniels. Number 5, close your ears, JP. Hammerstone. And then number 4, the AWF 2021 Wildcard Rumble winner Lawrence Tyler. Number 3, the AWF State Champion Ray Black. Number 2, the AWF Tag Team Champions, the Real Money Brothers. And number 1, AWF Champion, of course, Andy Palafox. Let's go Richie first. Richie, what are your thoughts on the power rankings here as we laid them out?
Look, I'm normally not one to play devil's advocate here, but as much as there are many fantastic competitors on that list, not having Jordan in the top 5 is a bit of a miss there. I can't say what he's won and what he hasn't, because again, I don't want to antagonize anybody on this fine radio show, but I will say he has won some very high-profile matches, and he has put on some very astonishing performances, and I honestly can't see why he's not in the top 5. However, the rest of the top 5, I do agree with. I believe that Hammerstone indefinitely deserves to be there. Lawrence Tyler worked his way back from his return to get there, and the champions on the list, there's no way to scoff at it. Heck, you could even swap Palafox for the Real Money Brothers after how long they've held those belts now. It's just, I feel like it's a real crime that you don't have Cruz in the top 5.
Interesting viewpoint. JP, care to have a volley, sir?
Now, before I leave this facility and get back on my plane for South Beach, all the goodwill you just accumulated with me just got flushed down the Johnny flusher, just flushed down the toilet faster than Jamarcus Russell's career did.
Or that Canadian Mist that he put in front of you.
Or that Canadian Mist, exactly. That's the only more insulting thing, that the fact that you put Canadian Mist in front of me is the fact that not only is Jordan ranked ridiculously low, there's no Donnie Palmer, there's no Joey Hendricks, there's no Richie Vegas in there. This list is an abomination. It is a travesty of justice, and frankly, it is despair. I don't who made these ridiculous ratings. What kind of hack put these lists together?
Now wait a minute, JP. Okay, first and foremost, I didn't make these power rankings. Okay, I didn't write these. Don't shoot the messenger. Secondly, that Canadian Mist is a fine Canadian whiskey. So, although it's not elevated towards the top of the shelves like you're used to, it is a very fine, gritty, it does have texture, okay? There is still splinters of the barrel in that whiskey, and it's delicious. And thirdly, I believe that Chris Evans, and I'm sorry, Richie, I'm going to go ahead and I do have I'm going to counter your point as well. I think that Chris Evans does deserve to be above Jordan Cruz. Chris Evans just went to the limit against Paradox. Chris Evans has had clean victories that were undisputed and has had tag team championship victories. He competed in the Wildcard Rumble, as did Jordan Cruz, but came in the top 3. JP, I understand your loyalty, but I'm going to say I think Chris Evans does deserve to be above Jordan Cruz. Now drink that whiskey.
Number one, you talk about flavor and seasoning. I'm sure there's people up in Canada that like moose urine, and they think it, think it tastes good too.
You don't have to get, I know Richie doesn't like the Canadians today, but that's different. You don't have to go. They already lost to Vegas. You don't have to beat them up anymore, JP.
And they're going to lose the next 2 games of Vegas too, because frankly, they're not on the Golden Knights level. Period. End of discussion about that. 2, not only is all that gibberish that just came out of your lips about Evans, he won this, he did this, and I don't care if Chris Evans went down to Tucson and danced on Golf Links Road in his underpants. That doesn't mean that he should be ranked ahead of Jordan Cruz. And number 3, since we're doing a five countdown Casey Kasem style, you didn't answer my other questions. Where are the other people that should be on here? There's no Mr. Vegas. There's no Mr. Hendricks. There's no Mr. Palmer. And another thing, okay, you got Brittany Brooks at 10. Where's Brent Thorne? Where is Brent Thorne? Why is she not on this list? This list was made by a bunch of fools.
Now, Bryn Thorne is a very valid point. Why is she not on this list? Again, I didn't make the list, JP, so I'm going to try to keep my composure. Richie, hand me that bottle of water, if you will, sir.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Water. You drinking that water, Richie? By the way, we'll be drinking some Land Shark next week. It's all good.
I always am down with the shark.
I'll supply the alcohol next week because Mr. Anders brings us garbage. Go ahead.
So with Bryn Thorne, she is a fierce competitor, definitely deserving of being in the power rankings. I would guess that the reasoning that Brittany Brooks is elevated above her is, one, she's the current women's division champion. So although Bryn Thorne does compete in intergender matches, it also has been some time since she's competed in an intergender match. She's entered into the tournament, so I understand the logic behind the ranking that she might not be included in that top 10 because she hasn't actually competed yet. Now, once she competes in that Unleashed tournament, and we see how far she goes, and if she has any warm-up matches leading up to it, say if she ends up taking a match in Summer Explosion, depending on the caliber of the match, I think that is a valid arguing point. I would say that my guess and my opinion, which I happen to agree with Brittany Brooks on the list over Bryn Thorne, all due respect to her, she is a fierce competitor, is she has been on a streak of momentum as of late. And she's the women's champion currently. In fact, I'm going to really, JP, I want you to put the glasses down wherever you're hovering at, because I know your plane's moving pretty fast. I know you have a pretty good one up there. I would say that she should probably be ranked pretty high. In fact, I think that she should be ranked higher than number 10. And the reason I told you put down any glasses, JP, and I don't know if you agree with me, Richie, on this one, but I would even lobby to say that Brittany Brooks might be ranked higher than Jordan Cruz. I would say that she might even be ranked higher than Chris Evans. Paradox is debatable, but I would say you could move her up a couple spots on this list and keep the list the way it is. Richie, what do you think?
Excuse me, friend.
I'm not
go
going
ahead, please,
to
Richie.
bring that part up because gold speaks volumes, right? She's a champion. She's got gold around her waist. I can't argue that part of greatness. So I'm not going to argue that. However, I think she's at the right spot on the list. I do really think she's at the right part of the list. I'm not gonna say anything else on that subject.
Okay, and JP, you're about to mention something. I'm sorry, I happen to be looking at Richie, but what were you gonna say in response to that, JP?
Please, thank you. You know what? You sit there in one breath and you mumble all this balderall about Chris Evans' previous accomplishments and why he's there, but then you gloss over the fact, Bryn hasn't been. Bryn hot streak. You know what? Brittany's on this hot streak and this, that, the other thing. Bryn was doing this when Brittany was still in junior high school. Okay, Bryn was doing this nonsense. Brittany was wishing she was a pro wrestler when Bryn was kicking rear end and taking names. All right, so you want to talk past history of Chris Evans, but you're not going to mention the past history of Bryn Thorne. Listen, Bryn, I know you're listening to this. So here's the bottom line. And I you know what? You could take your little no recruiting violations and no recruiting letter, and you can put it inside this little bottle of Canadian moose water and flush it down the toilet too. I promise you, Bryn, if you ride with us, you will never be left out of these top 10 again, because you should be in the top 10 because you are one of the pioneers of the women's division in this company, and this company clearly doesn't.
Nobody's arguing that, JP. The company appreciates her. I appreciate her. Richie appreciates her. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we appreciate Bryn Thorne. She's a great competitor. What more? I just don't think that she ranks higher. In fact,
so Chris Evans' past history puts him higher. Chris Evans' past history puts him higher, but Bryn Thorne does not. Have you seen the people Bryn Thorne has wrestled? She's wrestled. We're talking the best, Leslie Reese, and you know.
I don't want you blowing a gasket over this.
No, he's fine, Richie. Let him go. He's fine, Richie. No, it's Chris Evans' current history, JP.
That was my counterpoint as well. As much as Bryn Thorne is a hallmark, a staple, you could even put her on the Mount Rushmore of Arizona women's wrestling. There's nothing saying we can't. But what has she done in the last 5 shows that puts her above Brittany Brooks here?
Yeah, this is a now business, JP, and you know that. You're an expert analyst in the business. You've been around the block 1 or 2 times, or 3 or 4. It's a what have you done for me lately business.
Power rankings are a here and now thing. If we're going all-time rankings, Bryn does beat Brittany Brooks with more than a mile to go. But we're not doing all-time. This is current momentum power rankings. And that just shows that even though she's one of the best, she hasn't had the chance to shine as much right now. And the fact that she's not on this list, the only crime with that is the fact she hasn't been given enough of an opportunity to be on this list.
And displacement, JP. So let's go a step further. Let's move Brittany Brooks up to 7, Chris Evans down to 8, and let's put Bryn Thorne on the list. She's going to be number 9 or number 10 over Jordan Cruz. Somebody has to be displaced. Who gets displaced?
Your agenda against Jordan Cruz is laughable. Okay, your agenda against my people is borderline slanderous. All right, so who do you put up again? Who do you put down the list? Well, here's an idea: give Bryn Thorne a rightful title shot against Brittany Brooks, and we'll see who's in that top 10. Give her the opportunity. What has she done lately? Nothing, because she hasn't had the opportunity to do it.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. JP, I like it. Send back over that. Give me one of those moose heads out of the cooler, Richie, because now that he said moose water, I want one of those good old frosty Canadian beers. Pass one of those over.
It's all yours.
Thank you. But what do you think about that?
I bluster. I may talk, but I've always got something to back it up because that's how I roll.
Yeah, well, that is definitely Richie. What do you think? That would be a good way to settle it, right? Brittany Brooks or Bryn Thorne?
I ain't gonna argue anything about that. That would put this argument to rest for sure, more than anything else. I mean, you don't gotta ask me twice. Take my money. I would love to see a singles match between those two women.
Well, while we're
I'd
on
be
the
first in line.
Yeah, while we're on the topic, let me throw this out there to both of you. We're coming up on a break, but before we do, what if Bryn Thorne wins the tournament at Overdrive and becomes the Unleashed champion? And let's say that Brittany Brooks retains, and if she has another championship match at Summer Explosion, nothing's been announced yet, but say she retains in the Fatal 4-Way, now you have both of them holding gold. Who gets ranked higher?
Who went in there and beat a bunch of guys in one night? Who went in there with the best male wrestlers on the roster today? And this isn't a gender inclusive thing. This is, Brittany. I'll sit there and this, that, the other thing. Look, Brittany has rose up the ranks like a Led Zeppelin, and I am not going to take that away from her. Brittany, no, if she gets in there and wins this tournament, you got to put her higher. And that's not me speaking bluster here. That's me speaking to real McCoy. You got to put her up on that rankings higher because this is what she's done her whole career. Men, women, people in the crowd, jabronis out back that are sitting and waiting for autographs as she leaves the building. It doesn't matter. You put them in there with her in a combat situation, she's going to kick. She's either going to kick the crap out of them or she's going to go down swinging.
Valid points, Richie. She's a trailblazer. Richie, thoughts?
I entirely agree. Like I said, I would be first in line if she had a title shot for the women's title, but to see her go and actually win the Gold Rush tournament to get that the Unleashed title, even better. She has the spirit to do it. I wouldn't put it past her even a little bit.
Well, definitely an interesting viewpoint, and man, it's a shame these power rankings only come out once a month, isn't it, fellas?
Absolutely.
It definitely it gets the blood flowing. JP, I've noticed I've been looking at you on the Zoom call. You haven't blinked. We're gonna JP try and give me a blink or two. Just let me know.
What?
No hard feelings, buddy. Right?
I have to pull my sunglasses up to do that. I mean, come on, man. You can't see me blink because my sunglasses are covered. If I have to pull them up, I will. I'm blinking plenty here. Trust me.
Okay, well, I know you, and I know you have the whole blinking thing when you get agitated. But nonetheless, JP's gonna go ahead and he's gonna make a quick call to air traffic control. Richie is handing me Richie, crack open one of those moose heads. I want to hear what you think when we come back from the break. And yeah, you're listening to at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly here on RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. When we come back, we're going to be talking and giving our predictions for this Saturday's matches at the All-American Grand Slam. So we will be right back.
You're listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Gabriel Anders, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know that there is a quick and easy way that you can help support this station and all the DJs on the RGTR shows that you know and love. Whenever you're looking at doing some Amazon shopping for your pets or your kids or yourself, everything that you could have delivered directly to your door, if you just head to redgold.net first and go to Amazon by clicking our Amazon banner at the top of the page, that would really help us out a bunch. And while you're at it, if you could follow us on Twitter at Red Gold Media and on Facebook, Red Gold Talk Radio, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Red Gold Network, you'll get notifications of every time that we go live each and every week for all your favorite RGTR shows. So again, if you click on that Amazon banner right at the top of the page on redgold.net, we'd really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you so much for listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. Hey guys, Gabriel Anders here, letting you know that the Arizona Wrestling Federation is back in Phoenix at the new AWF Arena, June the 26th for the All-American Grand Slam. See the returning team of Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Colt, accompanied by Sprayboy Roy, together again for one night only, as they take on the Southwest Dream Team of AWF champion Andy Palafox and the returning Danny G. Also competing, Ricky Mandel, Paradox, Watson, Freya the Slayer, AWF Women's Champion Brittany Brooks, Chubby Depp, RGTR's own Jordan Cruz, and the Brothers of Wrestling. And the 2021 AWF Wildcard Rumble winner Lawrence Tyler will be in attendance. For more information, listen to Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly and get your tickets now at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Round Table every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Art Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m., where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey folks, I'm Bradley C. Baker.
And I'm Jim Caterly.
And we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit
and Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books,
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
Yeah, it's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
Why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com, patreon.com/brokenlinkradio.
Do it! I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio.
Do you love Kings of the Round Table? We'll help support JP, HG, and Jordan Cruz by picking up your copy of 11 and 11, a hometown hero, LaRussa's last ride in red, and a Miracle World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals. Written by Benjamin Hoffman with a foreword by Chris Carpenter and closing remarks by Jason Mott. 11 and 11 is a thoroughly reported chronicle of an unparalleled season packed with interviews with key players, team executive broadcasters, and more. This is the definitive account of a championship run no Cardinals fan will ever forget. To pick up your copy of 11 and 11, visit redgold.net and purchase through our Amazon link to support this show and this station.
The hottest new talents in pro wrestling today are in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Subscribe today for all the action. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling AZ. Catch the excitement.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on at Pro Wrestling AZ Weekly. JP's blinking. JP, you got everything taken care of with air traffic control over there?
No, they told me I need to calm down when I'm in the airplane because then they worry about the government telling us we need to land in somewhere in the Bahamas. So it's all good now. It's all good.
JP Yaegar, everyone, expert AWF analyst, and the only man who can get a noise complaint from 2 miles up in the sky on a private jet. Richie, how's that moose head treating you? How do you like it there, buddy?
JP, pass me the wild turkey. Send me some wild turkey, please. Send some my way.
Yeah,
I need to wash it down. But
not a fan.
Definitely ready to be washed down. That's what I'll say, Gabriel. That's all. It's ready to be washed down.
Okay, well, you just let me know if you want to grab another. Just you feel free to help yourself. And JP,
you're too kind.
I'll shoot you
You're
a
too
text where I
kind.
keep the private stash. I'll shoot you a text where I keep the private stash. It's all good.
Thank you.
Is it it's the cabinet that says JP's private stash, right?
Do you know the combination of my password?
Yeah, no, Richie, right there. You see that cabinet with the sign on it that says JP Yaegar Secret Stash of Liquor?
I do, actually.
Yeah,
that could
JP
be too
is that.
conspicuous.
Well, shoot him a picture through text, and you let us know if that. I think that's your secret stash, though, right? The one with the big neon yellow sign.
I'm gonna predict that it is. But speaking of predicting,
indeed, we have predictions for the All-American Grand Slam this Saturday. Gents, you ready? We're gonna pick winners. We're gonna pick losers. We're gonna pick the ones who raise their arms in triumph. We're going to pick the ones who will soak away from the backstage area into their cars and drive home. And Jordan Cruz is only able to win one match. FYI, JP, just to set the ground rules. Sanctioned-wise, at least. So, you guys ready to do some predictions?
Let's roll.
Alrighty, so very first match that we are going to cover, since we are wanting to run through these here. Let's start off with youngster Ricky Reyes, as he's biting off more than he can chew in challenging Paradox. Or do you think that he might have some sort, something up his sleeve and might be able to get a W from one of the hottest stars in AWF right now? Richie, let's have you go first. Ricky Reyes versus Paradox.
You already know what I'm going to say here. Paradox all the way. I'm a huge fan of Paradox. I know he's got a lot of momentum going his way right now. Strong performances. He's overdue for this. He's overdue for another win, and I think Ricky Reyes is who he's going to catch this win on. Strong up-and-comer, very talented, but Paradox is on a different level.
Fair words. JP, Ricky Reyes, and Paradox. Who are you picking?
How can I go against what my main man, Mr. Vegas, just said? I mean, listen, Paradox right now is on a level that is matched by few. You're talking a guy that just took Andy Palafox to the absolute limit and then some. He took him to hell and back. I mean, that's not the type of guy you're wanting to face when you're trying to get your feet wet in the AWF. I mean, I'm sure he'll put up a valiant fight. I'm sure he will. But this is Paradox's to lose.
Right, and you know what? It's a hard pick for me. I'm going to have to go. Ricky Reyes is a strong competitor. I think he's shown a lot of life, a lot of vigor, if you will. I am going to have to pick Paradox as well, so if you're keeping score at home, that is Richie Vegas, Paradox, JP Yaegar, Paradox, and myself, Gabriel Anders, also selecting Paradox 3 across the board. He's just too hot right now. He's just too hot right now, and I'm not. It's Andy Palafox, the AWF champion, had trouble putting him away, and almost had some opportunities to where he almost was not able to. So I think that Paradox is just too hot right now. He's on too much of a hot streak. Chubby Depp and Joey Hendricks going head to head. Richie, who's your pick pick for winner in this match?
I gotta stick with Chubby Depp. I think he has a lot of momentum going around him right now, regardless of his taste in alcohol or chips. I think he's gonna take Hendricks to the limit, and I mean Hendricks definitely could also pull it off, but I really do have to go with Chubby Depp here. He's got the fans on his side. It's gonna be a battle of two guys who could really get the crowd momentum going, but I think Chubby Depp is gonna take it this time at least.
Okay, so Richie Vegas going for Chubby Depp. JP, we got the dancing shoes on with the dancing man Joey Hendricks and Chubby Depp, but don't rate them on just their dancing talent. Who do you think is taking this one?
Listen, even in a state that ranks 48th out of 50 states in terms of public education, this one should be a no-brainer for you guys as well. This is Joey Hendricks all day, every day. I mean, come on, Chubby, he's fun, he's entertaining. He likes his he has his specific taste in alcohol and food, but entertainment so far, skill goes another level. And when it comes to skill, sure, Chubby's got his. Chubby certainly is, no dime store ham and egger, but Joey Hendricks is Joey freaking Hendricks. I mean, this is his world, and Chubby's just taking up space in it.
All right, so that's Richie Vegas for Chubby Depp. Joey Hendricks.
You know what?
Is
JP swayed me. I'm gonna have to switch over to Joey. He's right. He's
really?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, JP is truly has the true expertise here, and I have to sway with him.
Okay.
My
Interesting.
man.
Interesting.
My man.
All right, so Richie Vegas, actually Joey Hendricks, picking Joey Hendricks, as is JP. I'm going to go with Chubby Depp. I think that we are seeing a lot out of him. I think every single match he's getting better and better. I think that I'm gonna go with Chubby Depp for the upset. I think it would be a little bit of an upset too, because I think that on paper Joey Hendricks takes this, but from what I've been seeing and what I've been feeling in the buildings, guys, like I think Chubby Depp might be able to sort of utilize the the strength of the fan nation and come away with the victory here. So I gotta go Chubby Depp. And Chubby, thank you for the case of Moosehead. I appreciate it, sir. it'll go down smooth after we get off air, and then
Nothing against Chubby, man. I love Chubby, but I do have to say, when it comes to skill and momentum, and everything that JP said, I have to think about it more, and it's got to be Joey Hendricks.
Okay. So Joey Hendricks, the majority pick to win it here. Next one, Austin Cole taking on his mentor, Chris Evans. JP, I'm going to go over to you for this one. You've had a lot of words of wisdom for Austin Cole. We'll see if he takes it. Who do you think is coming out victorious here on Saturday?
Does the student beat the teacher? Listen, I may have not been in favor of Chris Evans's rankings in this farce of a top 10, but I will not deny Chris Evans's talent, Chris Evans's place in Arizona wrestling history, and where Chris Evans is right now. I think Austin Cole's going to come out there with a ton to prove. I think Austin Cole's going to come out there with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because, he thought he had this alliance, his budding, internship, for lack of a better term, going with Mr. Evans, and Chris did what Chris does, and that's, stabbed them in the back. So there's going to be a little bit of emotion there. But Austin, if you're listening to this, I've been trying to educate you here for the last couple times. I'm going to try it now. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, because you cannot slip up for 1 minute against Chris Evans. He's too damn good. That being said, no disrespect to you, Austin. I got nothing but respect for you. I got to go with the teacher here, man. I mean, I think Chris Evans has got a few tricks up his sleeve that he's always ready to pull out, and I think he's going to use them here tonight.
Makes a lot of sense. So JP going Chris Evans. Richie, who are you taking in this one?
Not to completely align myself with JP on every pick, but I also got to go Chris Evans' experience. This is Austin Cole's singles debut on the actual main AWF roster, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
So it's that the bright lights, the pressure at such a big show, and against his mentor, I gotta go with Chris Evans here. It's not easy to go up against that limelight and win.
And to be honest, I think we're going to see a hell of a fight. But I'm actually gonna be in line with you guys. I'm gonna say that both on paper and just from knowing the man for nearly a decade and watching him match after match, I want to say that Austin Cole is gonna put up one hell of a fight. But I would say Chris Evans, just since he is the master in this master sensei relationship, I'm gonna have to pick Chris Evans as well. So. Alrighty. JP, remember that we are towards the end of the show, so we're going to go ahead. We know your personal feelings, so let's throw to you first for the next one. Jordan Cruz and the returning Ricky Mandel. Who do you have? As if I need to ask.
No, I'm going to pick Ricky Mandel. What kind of nonsensical question is that? This is the most academic no-brainer that's ever hit humankind.
Yeah, so if anybody needs to change or adjust the scorecards, if you're marking a little early, that translates to JP is picking Jordan Cruz. Richie, what is your pick? Jordan Cruz and the returning Ricky Mandel.
Come on, I'm going to go against anybody in the triangle. There's no way that Mandel's talented, don't get me wrong, but there's no way he beats Jordan Cruz. Especially if JP and I are there, he's going to have the momentum of having the triangle by his side. Fat chance. Sorry.
Richie, when did Richie? You're not joining the triangle, are you?
Yes, he
wouldn't be a triangle.
That's right.
It can't be a triangle though, if there's more than 3 people. All right. Anyway,
understand this though. Listen. You understand how architecture works?
I'm disappointed in you, Richie. I understand that. I'm gonna pick Ricky Mandel only because, as hot as Jordan has been in the ring. And as amazing, and seeing this one's a tough one for me because everything in my gut makes me want to choose Jordan Cruz. I think the one thing that we're looking at, that we're missing though, is Ricky is going to be fresh. He has not wrestled in an AWF ring for nearly a year and a half, almost 2 years. I think that with how cerebral Ricky is, with how tactical as he is, I think that he has been awaiting the day, and this is nothing against you, Jordan. I think that any other day, Jordan Cruz takes the boat in this matchup, but I think that anybody who's going against Ricky Mandel in his return, I think is going to fall victim to his nearly 2 years of planning. So, wait, this isn't right. He was just here recently, so I want to say about 6. Yes. Yeah, I want to say about 3 or 4 months worth of planning because it's part of an. He explained it to me a little bit as much as I could understand, So it's actually a part of like I think he called it the 2-year archetype or something. I don't know. You guys know, Ricky, but nonetheless, this is a win that he has been planning 2 years in the making. I think Ricky takes it. Let's move on to the tag team championships. Richie, I'm going to go back to you. Brothers of Wrestling challenging the Real Money Brothers. Who do you have?
Look, rankings don't lie. Almost 2-year-long title reigns don't lie. The brothers are an extremely talented tag team. They can go out there and in their first match together in quite some time win. But I can't bet against the Real Money Brothers. Not in this match. I think if the brothers had a chance to maybe get a tune-up match together beforehand, get some chance to get that teamwork flowing again, other than in just the Fatal 4-Way, it could go their way. But I really think nothing's going to stop RMB from carrying this possibly to the end of this year, too.
Okay, JP, who do you have in this tag team championship match?
This is why I'm proud to be the coach of the Triangle, because you know why? Because Richie Vegas, Jordan Cruz, Donnie Palmer, me being the coach, great minds think alike. He just said everything I could have possibly said and then some. Bottom line is this: for the last couple of years, Evan Daniels and R3 have been doing their own thing. In that time, RMB has established themselves as the premier tag team, not just in AWF, but in professional wrestling today. You can't just come off the shelf after doing your own thing and dancing your own tango and try to go against this blue chip tag team that's knocking everybody off the top of the rankings. And that's one of the few things I do agree with the rankings is where RMB is. I think they will give, honestly, with their expertise, their previous success and domination as a tag team, I think they will give RMB the toughest fight they've ever had as tag champions. But to me, you're not beating this team. You're not beating it. Not coming off the shelf and trying to reunite. Reunited, it feels so good. Well, not in this case. Reunited means you're going to get beat 1, 2, 3. I'm going with the RMB all day.
Okay, so unanimous, and you guys know that the Real Money Brothers, RMB, those have been, I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of what they've done in the, I believe we're up to 681 days as tag team champions for RMB. I have to say, guys, I studied a lot of the numbers. There's a list of facts that went up on ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com. I was taking a look at it, and I sort of dove into the record books. The Brothers of Wrestling are 3-time champions. They're the only 3-time tag team champions in AWF history, and they're the second, only behind RMB. Cumulatively, they've held it longer than any other tag team outside of RMB. I think the Brothers of Wrestling take this one, guys. I think that I'm going to call the upset of the card. I think the Brothers of Wrestling take the tag team titles in this one. So we'll have to see on that, but I don't know.
It's possible, man.
I think they can do it.
You know how much I like R3. You know how much I like what he does in the ring, and you know how much I enjoy seeing him compete. But again, you're talking history versus current, right? If you look at the current situation of the card or of the rankings, you know that RMB hasn't been able to be beaten. They haven't been able to be bested. I mean, if anybody could do it, it's RMB, yes. But the Brothers of Wrestling. If anybody could beat RMB, it's the Brothers of Wrestling. But with practice, it's going to be hard to see them go in there and do it with so much time in between their last tag match.
Yeah, well, time will have to tell. Most certainly, it's going to be one that might be the match of the card too. That'll definitely be something to see. But I mean, any match of that we're going over, any of these could be match of the card. We are running low on time, guys, so we're going to go through these ones sort of rapid fire. Women's Championship, Fatal 4-Way. Brittany Brooks defending against Viva Van Volcana and Freya the Slaya. Richie, who do you have?
I think Brittany Brooks goes in there and continues her current reign of momentum. I think she takes the win still. Even without the champion's advantage, she's going to be hard to beat. I'm going to go Brittany Brooks.
Okay. JP, who do you have? Fatal 4-Way.
Tough one because Viva Van, one of the greatest women's champions that AWF had, but she's coming back. Listen, Brittany, all the stuff I said about her. I think that, it's her night to shine. I think she's looking for that one shining moment that, to continue to establish herself as the top chip in the women's division. I think she somehow comes away with this one.
Okay, and I am, and this one's a tough one. I couldn't whittle it down, so I'm going to say Viva Van, but I'm going to say Freya the Slayer is sort of the sleeper here. I think that their experience is just too much, especially with Viva Van having held the women's championship for so long and defeated so many competitors. I'd say that I have to go with Viva Van. I think she can take it, and I think that the experience will just be too much for the young Brittany Brooks. I think that she's a competitor, but yeah, I just think that experience will win out on this one. Wildcard Rumble winner this year, Lawrence Tyler, takes on former AWF champion Watson. JP, who do you have in this one?
You know what, Watson is riding his own wave of momentum, but LT is on a different wave. LT is, dare I say, and he's had a Hall of Fame career. He will go down as one of the greatest competitors ever to step foot inside an AWF ring. But I think he's as good now. The streak we're seeing of him now is as good, as strong as we've ever seen. He's going to be a tough night out in the office for anybody, and I think Watson has the ability and the talent to do it, but I just think LT is ascending a little bit higher right now. I think LT picks up the W.
Okay, Richie, who do you have?
I said Watson could potentially take that opportunity coming next month, but I think in this match, there's a lot to prove for Watson, especially against not only someone who was a mentor to him, but also won the Wild Card Rumble over him. I do want to probably put my money on Watson on this one, even with being higher in the rankings and having some momentum on his side already. I think LT's going to have his hands full for sure, and I think Watson could walk away with this one.
I think so too, and actually that's where I'm going. I'm going Watson also, because if you guys have talked to him in the backstage area, if you guys have talked to him in the locker room, he's an angry man right now, and he is wanting to win at all costs.
On the subject of Watson, his faction member that we got to see in action, who was fantastic in the Rumble as well, was Fresco Matic, and having him come down here and possibly on his side, he can come down again at any time and help Watson pick up a victory.
Very true. And then last one, we're looking at JP, Adrian Hawkins and Aiden Cole with Sprayboy Roy in their corner against the Southwest Dream Team, Andy Palafox, current AWF champion, and his tag team partner, Danny G, in this match, one night only. Who are you picking in this match, JP?
It's hard to pick up against the Southwest Dream Team, but will Danny G's mind be on this match, or will Danny G's mind be on that 20 pounds of gold that's strapped around Andy Palafox's waist and wanting his shot at the title? That'll play a big factor here. I'm going to go with Colton Hawkins, man. Hawkins making the big return after almost, 5 years?
Over 5 years. Over 5 years, yep.
Over 5 years, I think that right now they're going to be the more cohesive unit, because I don't know if Danny G's mind's in it. I'm going to go with Hawkins and Colt.
Richie, what do you got?
I haven't gotten to see either of these tag teams in action personally, but I think the fan momentum is going to be too far on the side of the Dream Team. I'm probably going to have to go with Southwest Dream Team on this one.
Yep, and we are just out of time. I am gonna, for this one night only, big match, Hawkins and Colt and SBR. You never know what they're planning. You never know what they have in store, and it's very possible for the last 5 years they've just been brooding on this moment and their return, even in their absence. But with that being said, I'm going to go Southwest Dream Team all the way. Andy and Danny from day one all the way. Those are my thoughts. So let us know what you think by tweeting us at Pro Wrestling AZ on Twitter, or let us know on Facebook on Arizona Wrestling Federation on Facebook, or at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com. Fellas, I think we've done it. It was an interesting road to get here tonight, but we've reached the end. Any closing thoughts before we head out, guys?
Thank you, folks, for listening to us live tonight. It was a pleasure to be live, and as Gabriel Anders said earlier, live and in color. It was great to be with you. Thank you for listening along with us tonight.
JP?
I just took 2 hours out of South Beach time to join you and give my expertise. So trust me, when Richie Vegas says it's a pleasure, the pleasure's all yours.
And thank you so much, AWF Fan Nation. We appreciate you joining us each and every week. And you can catch us live now on RGTR, Red Gold Talk Radio, 9 p.m. Arizona time, and whatever that translates to in your respective time zone. You can catch us here or on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and on redgold.net. But last words from me. I'm going to tell you, go ahead and get your All-American Grand Slam tickets for this Saturday, June the 26th at the new AWF Arena in Phoenix. We will see you there, and when we come back next week, we will have the results of the All-American Grand Slam and start getting ready for Summer Explosion, which will be the big show coming up afterwards. So on that note, we're getting kicked out of the studio, and I think I hear TSA calling you, JP. So let's see. Richie, go ahead and say bye to the people here tonight.
As always, everybody, stay safe. Have a great week. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Gold Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Gabriel Anders, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know that there is a quick and easy way that you can help support this station and all the DJs on the RGTR shows that you know and love. Whenever you're looking at doing some Amazon shopping for your pets or your kids or yourself, everything that you could have delivered directly to your door, if you just head to redgold.net first and go to Amazon by clicking our Amazon banner at the top of the page, that would really help us out a bunch. And while you're at it, if you could follow us on Twitter at Red Gold Media and on Facebook, Red Gold Talk Radio, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Red Gold Network, you'll get notifications of every time that we go live each and every week for all your favorite RGTR shows. So again, if you click on that Amazon banner right at the top of the page on redgold.net, we'd really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you so much for listening to RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio.